Let's try
And we're
this.
live. Yeah, here with Andrew, Side, and Matt. And yeah, we're gonna walk through. We're kind of getting closer and closer to getting the edit projects functionality working from the React front end. And right now, Andrew, you're just finishing up a rebase and going to push it up. And then I think when I lost power, hopefully, knock on wood, that doesn't happen very often. So hopefully it doesn't happen again while repairing. I think what we're talking about is maybe me doing some driving and trying to see if I can figure out why it's not working with the back end, and just so you can see the process of how I do that, and then kind of if we get it working with the back end, then pushing up the maybe revised back end, or if it is revised, to get it working on the like deployed production mode backend. Is that what you remember, or do you have something different in mind?
No, that's how I remember it.
Okay, cool. So I'll wait till you push up the latest changes, and then I'll pull it down and share my screen and stuff. I think Abdulani has gotten we had a pairing session together, Abdulani and I, and we got the edit events working. So that was good progress. I'm trying to see if what else is holding that up. Oh, cool. So you pushed it up. Let's see. For some reason, I got confused about the time, and I thought we were going to be pairing at like 10 a.m. my time, and it was 2 p.m. my time. I don't know why I got confused about that, but
yeah, I saw that earlier.
I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. I got pulled into a meeting, and I was like, oh, hopefully he'll be available. And then I just saw like just some minutes ago. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So Abdulani's is. Okay.
Yeah, so, I don't mind. I don't mind like seeing how you would test it with back. I'm open to picking that up as well. I mean, I'm kind of familiar with Rails, the structure, and the very elementary syntax of Ruby. So I don't mind building on that.
Cool.
So it looks like on my end I got the site running. So I think I fixed the
cool. Nice.
Conflict.
Okay, let me share my screen. I mean, yeah, as you said, maybe none of this is going to be really new for you. I think the only thing that maybe that I having worked on the website one project more than you, like it might be slightly easier for me to have a look at it because I have familiarity with the actual code base. But
yeah.
Not that you can figure it out, but we might as well take advantage of that, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind. You do the driving.
Okay, cool. So I'm sharing my screen now. Let me click on my screen so the people in the video can see. And then basically, I mean, like some of the things that you might know or you might not know is that like we're using. Actually, I want to change this to. We're using a feature branch to do all of this, which is like kind of not ideal, really. Ideally, we would be like with the changes that we make in the front end, we would be like putting in PRs to get it changed in the actual site. Hold on, rake, VCR, Billy's cache is reset, and actually like Siri is gonna be helping with get the back end ready. Because really, to be honest with you, that's kind of the biggest block that we have at the moment. Like we have some things that we need to do in the front end to get it ready, but it's nothing that I think is like blocking us. It's just a matter of like getting some things like this that we already have almost working, like across the. This repository contains hooks installed by overcommit. Okay, but the overcommit gem is not installed. I don't think I worry about that right now. All right, cool. So then let me come here and open up website one. React apps, website one front end. And then I come here to, what is it? This one here, right?
150.
Yeah. Edit project.
Yeah.
I think I've pulled this down already. Let me see. I have to get pull origin. No, it's not origin. It's you. I don't think I have you set up. So I'll have to set you up. Get add, get remote, add Andrew, and then I can take this here, copy, and then here instead of JM Painter, it's like ALAU2088.
Yes.
Awesome. Get pull Andrew, and then forgot I copied that. 150. Edit project. Couldn't find a remote ref edit. Oh, it's edit _ project. Cool. So now I have the latest changes. Cool. So open up the code and I'll start the server here in the Rails side of things. And I'll start the server here. Well, in the React side, start. Okay, so the majority of the work that you've done is in edit project page, right?
Yeah, edit project page and then edit project action or.
Yep. Yep, cool. So we have SRC, we have our actions here. We have our edit project action. And then we have here containers, right? Because you're just reusing the farm, so I don't think there's much there.
Edit project page, yeah.
Okay. And so I think what I need to do is be signed in, which means that what I want to do is come here into login. Not login, sorry. I need to come to this action, post login info action. And I want to change this to the HTTP local host 3000, because I'm going to sign into my local server. Copy this, and then change this edit project to be that as well. Save that. And then let me think. So I don't think I need to create a project because there'll be already a project I can use. Maybe just that, but I'll see here in a minute.
So where's the login info stored on the localhost? User name and password.
Where is it stored?
So it's just all in the front end. when you log in, the authentication, it has nothing to do with the backend.
No, it does. Like, so when you log in, it sends this like when you do it, like it calls this handle login, which like prevents default, and then grabs the email and password from the state, and then grabs like the cookies and history and all this stuff from props, and then like calls the post login info action and passing in the email and password. And then if that's successful, then it does like it pushes the person to the right path and sets the cookie in the front end.
Where's the interaction with the backend?
It here in the post login info.
Post. Oh, it's so the backend is. So the backend is on localhost 3000.
Yeah, it is now because I've just started the server here.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, I thought localhost 3000 was the front. Never mind. That's 8080.
8080, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I've just done that temporarily, so that I can, because if I log into the develop server, which I've done before, then it will, it will give me a 401 unauthorized because I'll be logged into the wrong place,
Got it.
So it's interesting. It's telling me that my username and password do not match. Interesting. I reseeded my local database recently, maybe. Username and password do not match, but it's definitely hitting this back end. So I guess what I can try to do is do Rails db drop db blah blah blah, create db migrate, and then it's I thought so. Really annoying. Actually, I need to kind of change this in this Docker deploy branch to be Rails 2.51 because it's what we use in production. While that's doing that, I'll just, I think, come here and open up the code here. And come here to the projects controller. And it's going to come to update. So then it's going to look for the project by the, so this might be the issue here. I'm not sure when the last time this was, because it's based on the project ID, not the event ID, right? Here we're sending edit project action is sending project. Yeah, that makes sense. But then it's not including the ID here, right? So this would need to have like the ID, right?
Yeah.
Those are two reasons why it might not have been working. I think this one I might have changed when I was working on the event and I didn't change it back. I think it's been deployed since then. So depending on when we were, you or I were trying it, that could have something to do with it. And right, so has this failed for some reason. Website development is being accessed by others. Yeah, right. So I need to stop this and then run it again. I mean, hopefully it'll just be that simple with those two things, and it'll just work. And then then I can push it up to the development server, and we can make sure that it works in development. And then it'll just be a matter of the other little things that we need to do. So here we go. Let's try that again. The other thing I can do is I can open up localhost 3000 and try to log in directly if I can't log in from the front end for some reason. Okay, so it's up. Username and or password do not match. Interesting. Let me just hard code in that.
But did you feed data from for this user?
Sorry?
Did you seed data?
Yeah.
I didn't see where you that command.
Oh, you're right. I think I dropped and migrated just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Did you see the data? No?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, we need to. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If you expect to be able to use the user, then you should probably see the data.
And it showed the user that it created.
Yeah, there's more than one. There's
Okay.
like that was the original one that was created, and it was just this one was created, and then we had a guy named Daniel, who you might or might not know. He came in here and he added like seeding data for this like premium at preemi.um and with the premium 123, so we could check out like the difference, between.
All right, user.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There we go. Cool. Awesome. So there we go. Now we're in, and then we want to do projects, and we want to choose a project, assuming our database responds, and it does. Let's just update one of these, edit one of these ones. So I guess to get to this page, I need to do projects like this. Is this the endpoint, or is it a different endpoint? No, it's a different endpoint. It's like projects edit dot turd, right?
Yeah.
Yes, cool. So then I'm going to edit this to edited project from React front end. This project has been successfully edited. Right now, it's kind of difficult because we don't have any like error handling. But what I can do is come here to Redux and see if it responded with anything. Project info didn't get updated. Project form. So then, all right. So I'll look at the back end and see what happened. Record not found. Well, that's 404 not found. These landing page options. Okay, so I guess what I'm going to do is come here to this project's controller update and drop in a binding.pry here. Binding.pry, and then try hitting it again. Can't find project with ID 173. Right. You know what? Yeah. So I think that's because I need to actually change this to like
integer.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Is that you, sir?
I was asking if it was just trying to find a string.
No, I
convert it to integer.
I think it's because we're working with like two different databases. We have like my local database, and then we have like this here. When I hit projects, this is actually reaching out to the develop server and pulling in the develop server's projects, and this here is pulling in the ones from the database. And so now this I think won't work because this project doesn't exist there. So I think I need to like change all of these endpoints, like get login info, get projects. There's like get project info as well that I need to like append this local host 3000/API v1 project slug. Now hopefully this will bring in that project's info. Yes. And then if I do edit, Then I can do like updated. It's probably a waste of time. Submit. Now maybe it'll stop. There we go. Awesome. Now we can step through. Say next, and then now we have add project. We do. So it's found the project. Good. Next. Next. And then, okay, so that means that it entered the if block. So this evaluated to true. That's good. And then next. And next. That doesn't look good. Okay, let's next. Continue. Right, so I think that worked. If I look at the state, it should have responded. It should have responded with something like, I think the backend at the moment is responding with the project. And that project in the front end, are we doing something with it? I think we agreed that we weren't going to save it, but it should have came back in the response, right? And then it pushed it to projects.response.data.project.slug, which it did do. And then that would pull in the information from the updated project. And this has been successfully updated. Woo! So that's all strong evidence to me that it's working. I don't know if anyone else saw anything different than I did, but let me remove this finding out pry. So then the next step would be, I think, to add everything, get commit, push it up to the develop server and make sure it works there, because that's in like the production mode. Update project find and get push website one develop deploy branch master. And then while that's doing that, we can come in here and remove all of these. And all of these, and all of these, and and here we don't have anything. Edit project page. So this we can probably get rid of, right? This console log. And this. And how? There was some testing that was still a question, or was it basically just that?
Oh, the testing was the history.push, which looks like
yes. Right. So I have an update on that. In the meeting on Tuesday, Juan said that he doesn't want this history.push to be a part of the actions concern. The actions concern is just to talk to the back end and respond. So he wants going forward, so if it's not too much work, but since the testing is not, is maybe not working for that, maybe we could try extracting this into the edit project page. So after you call handle submit, like after you call edit project, having like a callback here, like we do in the login page.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I can leave that for you, we can do it together if you want. But maybe you can drive and do it. I just wanted to push this up and make sure it's working on with the develop server, and then if so, then maybe it'll be easier to test from the edit project page.
Yeah. I was wondering why would be anything different from the create project page?
You mean as far as where we're doing the pushing?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the code is pretty much the same.
Yep.
I wouldn't expect that we need to add additional lines of code to pass that test, but
Yeah, for sure. You mean in the current state that it's in, why is it like working for create project page, but it's not for edit project page, even though they're kind of like the same? Is that?
yeah, that's correct.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, what I'm suggesting is kind of a workaround, and the reason I guess the reason the code is different between the like not the tests code, but the actual code is different is because really I'm the one that, or I think Mike's the one that did the create project page, or the create project action, and I think we're going on doing a lot of that pushing from the action, and like we've just kind of been told by Joan that he doesn't see that as like. So now we're like changing it, and we want to have like refactoring tickets to refactor all of the actions that are pushing the user. It's not this
Okay.
way. So I think we will refactor those other ones. What am I was thinking? I was trying to look at the actions to see if something jumps out at me as like as a reason why there might be a difference. Come on. There. So here's the create event action. Did I do the? Sorry. I'm not trying to look at the action. I'm trying to look at the test for the action. Create event test. So it should probably be create event action. Oh no, it's not even event. What am I doing? Create project. Create project action. No, that's the thing again. Here we go. Create project action test and edit project action test. Those are the two we want to look at, right?
Yeah.
Event, no.
Create project page, project action, or create project.
Yeah, this one here. Create project action test and edit project action test. Cool.
Yep.
So, and then get rid of this. Give a little bit more space. Yes. I mean, it looks very similar so far. Yep. Calls method.
The only difference is there's no update on the front end. Right.
So this data is not defined. Has this been changed? Oh, I think you changed this, right? This was.
Oh yeah, I was messing around with it. Yeah. I didn't push
Okay.
that. No. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can remove. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'll run these tests locally to make sure it's like failing for me locally in the same way as it is for you. Yarn test, and then this is SRC tests, actions, edit project action tests. So it's like when it resolves, it should call that. And let's see, you have history, we have push, it's just function. And where are we mounting this? Oh, we're not mounting it. We're just calling the interesting. Right. I think I know why. I think the reason this on this left is passing is because it's like because we have this extra create project that it resolves, and in this one, oh well, no, this one resolves as well. But like, yeah, I think this is not being called at all. Like, because we're not actually. I think what we would need to do is just like add like a create or edit project and pass in props. Then I think this would, yeah, maybe do a dot then, and then have that, and do that, and that, and then have this here. And when I put these in like a callback, I always add like this expect dot assertions 1, because sometimes it'll pass the test before it ever actually gets to the expect, because it's not asynchronous, or it is asynchronous. So yeah, 1 failure, and it's saying it's called 0 times. Now if I run this again, let's see, maybe I get lucky. No, 0 assertion calls. And what is this saying? Then is not a function. Interesting. I can use it if I dispatch it to the store. So I guess I'll do that. Why not? I don't mind dispatching it. I'm not going to do anything with it. Like, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, so that passed. I don't know if I'm happy with it. I mean, we could try like doing, instead of doing this, doing like this, and then doing like async here, and then await here, and seeing. This is not really, I don't know if this is a waste of time, because like the idea is to extract this into a different area, like a different test. Yeah, so that didn't work. So do we want to dispatch it? Can I just do return here? No, because then this will be not reachable. Wonder, should I do this here? No, I don't think that will work either. Yes, let's maybe see if we can get it working with the back end. So there's no place that I can like an edit button that I can click on at the moment.
No, right. The edit button from other pages, no.
Yeah. So that's the other thing to consider, is whether you want to write some that looks like that failed. And I don't think it failed because the backend's not reachable, because we got the list of projects. You know why? It's because I think I'm still signed in as in the backend, I think. Log out. It's kind of a bug as well. This logout thing is supposed to, like, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, like to remove the cookie. So like in that case, it worked, but in the other one, it didn't. Come on. Did I not update this? Endpoint?
Yeah, I tried to log in with that same info too. It didn't work.
Okay. Post login info action. Yeah, so this didn't work. It might not, depending on what time of the day you did it. Like typically, you know, the backend we're working with at the moment is on like like if it doesn't work for some reason, like what I would encourage you to try is to like go to this site, go to develop.website1.agileventures.org and see if this site is reachable at all, because sometimes it's just not reachable.
Okay.
So I'll just okay. So yeah, I mean, so this is supposed to be take us to a site that's reachable, and it doesn't seem like it's done that, but we have been able to log in. So I think in some way it's reachable. So if I come back to projects, and we're able to pull in the project. So I think this is like a Rails thing. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was expecting. A lot of times, the first time you visit on the Rails side of things, it comes up with like a 200. But yeah, I was gonna say if you want to do like it would be really nice if you did some Cypress tests as well.
Okay.
And what that would look like is that you would have to have like somewhere to click on. Well, not you would have to, but it would it might like the process might be like starting from the project page, choosing one of the first projects, and then like clicking on it and seeing the or going to the project info page, and then on the project info page clicking on like an edit project, and yeah, so cool, it works. Woo! Awesome, great job, man. Like I think it was just those two little things. The back end, I think, was broken because it was looking for the wrong params, and I think also as well there wasn't I think good enough coordination between the two of us of like what we needed for to look for it in the back end, which is it'd be better if we already need to use the ID anyways, that we search for it by ID. Although this ID is an ID or a slug? ID, no? Yeah. Yeah, it's ID because the backend is expecting an ID. Yeah. So yeah, I think those are the two little things. As far as the test, like, so it's failing on that latest thing I did. I did get it to pass by doing that, like dispatching to the store. But like, it makes me feel a bit strange because we're not actually doing a dispatch to the store.
Right.
So it's kind of maybe it's just so that we could use this like then callback, which apparently we don't have access to by just calling the function. I'm not exactly sure why, to be honest. I think the reason, like, to answer your question earlier, I think the reason it's maybe passing here is because we are doing a create project that's resolving. And so because it's resolving, I think down here, actually this we could test it by moving this test like to the first test. And then maybe this would fail as well, which is not a good sign. That means that like, actually this test is not well written because we want it to be able to pass in isolation without any of the other tests running,
Yeah.
So maybe something for us to refactor. But yeah, anyways, I think this will need to be extracted into the edit project page.
Yeah.
Do you have time? You might not have time now, no?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get to it offline.
Okay, cool. No worries. So I guess I'll push it up here with it passing, and then you can worry about refactoring it if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. And then how are we looking at on our test coverage then? Here edit pro. Oh, look at so it's at 100%, and then I guess if I want to see all the test coverage, I need to run yarn test. Sida, do you have any questions about this? About this one?
Did you ask to me?
Yeah. Did you have any questions about this ticket?
No.
So like the things that like that are on the list of things that we need to change about the back end to handle this edit projects is we need to add this one line here to save to find the project based on what's being sent in from the React front end. It doesn't need to be a instance variable. I just made an instance variable because it was an instance variable in the other cases. But like this could be just like a local variable, or yeah, and then like it's like calling this update attributes, which this all stays the same, and then but instead of redirecting to the project path, we're saying like it's going to respond to JSON and like render the JSON of the render the project.
Yeah, but I mean this front end is not hitting the API, right?
No, this is hitting the regular project controller.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe long term, it's better for it to have everything.
The end goal is to make it hit the API, right?
I think so. I mean, that's probably a better question for Sam. Like,
yeah, because I mean, it's kind of complicated to have those two sites in the same project, and it can be drive to error, I think, because I was thinking that the React, the front end thing, all the front end thing are hitting the API, so the API is doing the work. But here I see that in this one we are hitting the base controller.
Yeah,
which
I think
is
the majority of them are hitting like the actual controllers. Like instead of hitting the API. I think the only thing that's hitting the API is like grabbing like grabbing the index, the project list, or grabbing like active projects or project languages. The issue with that we've faced with hitting everything to the API is in the scrape API stuff. Like we haven't been able to authenticate. So anything that you need to authenticate, we've been going through the regular controllers.
But why are we using the Grape API? I think now we have REST 5.2, which is good with APIs, and I think
we could.
We don't.
I don't know how to answer that. Like, I think I don't know exactly who chose. Like, I think it was a combination of Sam and other people that before I came along that decided Grape API would be used. But I think like ultimately, like after we get it to production, I think that there's work to be done, or maybe even before we get it to production, if someone had time, then they wanted to work on like actually creating a Rails 5 API only and like having all the endpoints that we need. We could do that as well. Like ultimately, I think having a Rails 5 API only would be much more preferable. The thing that scares me a little bit about having that's kept me from just starting that work myself is the events, because the events model is quite complicated. I think I mean maybe not for other people, but it's I think it's quite complicated, and then I'm not sure. Like this seems like it would be a lot more work than it looks like at first, but I mean it's like 300 lines, so there's kind of a lot going on. But I'm not sure what some of the stuff we wouldn't even use, like Jitsi Room Link. I don't think we're not even using. Like there might be a lot of this that ultimately to keep it dry and to have less fats and stuff, like we really want to have either a Rails 5 API only, or, there have been talks about whether or not we want to use Rails on the back end anyways. Like there have been talks about doing it in Elixir. There's been talks about doing it in Node and using GraphQL. So I'm not sure. I mean, in the short term, it seems like we're just going to kind of try to prepare website one to be able to have the React front end interact with it. And then we can kind of like slowly start moving things over to using a Rails 5 API only.
Okay. I can understand the choice of the Grape API in like, if it was like 4 years ago, and I think that's what we have here. I think if you see the code base, you can see that it started late, like 3 years or 4 years ago, and widely understandable. But now, if you are trying to refactor everything, to rethink to redesign the process, and you can change things on the backend. But yeah, you're right. That's a point that we can discuss with Sam and see what they think about.
Yep. I think, if I'm not mistaken, like there's kind of a week on, a week off, but I think the next website one meeting is on Wednesday. And then like, it would be a great opportunity for us to talk about the future. Like he was originally against having a Rails 5 API only because he was saying like, maybe it's going to take a lot of hours to make it happen. But recently he said like, when we were dealing with the OAuth issues, he was saying maybe we do just start Rails 5 API only. Then I had a breakthrough on the OAuth stuff, and so we kind of like, don't know what we'll have to talk to him and see what his preference is, I guess.
Yeah.
So the only thing not being tested on the edit event, which you might already have seen this, Andrew, is line 16. So what's line 16? Edit project page. Edit project page. Line 16. This here, I think. You're still with us, Andrew? Yeah. Okay. So coverage, lcov, index.html, copy path. Come here and containers, edit project. All right. Yeah. So yeah, we don't need to worry about that because there's no else. It's saying we're not testing the else path, but there is no else path. So I think we don't need to test something that is not there. Yeah. So I think that's good. And then what else do we have? We had we didn't change anything about the component, right? So that's still 100. No, it's project. That's still 100% tested. And then we have the edit project action, which is 100% tested, but we're going to move that around. Cool. So I think that's good. Get diff, remove some console logs. Did I make any change on that? What's the change there? Fetch project info. All right. That / I think I can remove that / get project info. Get project info action. Move that. Okay, so added the ID there. Remove some console logs. Okay. Add everything, get commit, send ID to backend, and temporary get tests passing temporarily, will extract to edit project page will extract the redirecting user to edit project page, test in edit project page.test.js, and then this is co-authored by, let's see here, no, yeah, apps, website one, get hits, no, I don't need to get hits, I want to get log, and here we go. Authored by Side Gia, and then Side Mosagia, gmail.com. Oh, look at that. I think I got it this time.
Awesome.
If I type it enough, get push Andrew 150. Cool. Up there. Yeah, and it's looking close. I think maybe the only thing left to do is extract that push and test it.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, forgive me if it's already obvious for you. But I think like it'd be slightly different in when you test it in here, because you just basically need to do, I think, some action that hits the handle submit, maybe. Well, I mean, I told you earlier, we have like I was showing you, we have this post login info, and then we have a callback on that, and the callback like pushes the person to the right path. So this is like really similar. And then we're testing that here in the login test.js. And okay. So what I've done here is I've done like passed in the function as a jest function that's like that takes in the login info and then returns a promise. So there might be a cleaner way I think there is a better way of doing this. Like you can do like mock resolved value or something. And so maybe that would be enough. I don't know. I'm sure you'll figure it out. But like I think then you can do like await props, await edit project info, and then do a then callback, which expects this to be called.
Yeah.
But see what you think, or see what you find out, and let me know if you have any issues. I can jump in.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't run the linting, but I did run the test. So I think there wasn't any standard issues. So it should pass the build, I think. Too many things. No, must be one of these ones. This one here, maybe. Yeah. Right. Well, I guess it's just that, right? Anything else? I think it'll probably take too long to run these tests for us to still be on the call. But anyways, you're gonna pull it down and make some changes anyway, so probably not too important to be watching. So, and anything else, or?
Where's the repository for the backend?
It's called Website One. I'll send you a copy of it, a link to it.
Okay.
It's there. And yeah, like if you do want to play around, I'll just push up the latest stuff. The branch I'm working on is called Docker Deploy branch. So if you want to have a look and make changes or anything like that.
Okay.
I think maybe what I do is switch back the Ruby version so that it doesn't fail to build every time, and then there's actually another guy, Bryce. He put in a PR to merge in some stuff that would adjust the passwords endpoint, but then it's like I probably could just merge this in and have a look at it. Yeah, I think I will merge it in. Squash and merge. Confirm squash and merge. So yeah.
What's the Ruby version? 2.51?
Yeah, that's when we use. I think on this branch it's 2.53, but maybe I should just change that now. I don't know. I was hoping that we could our Docker file was using the official Ruby version, like 2.5, and so they're updating it all the time. Like now it's on 2.55, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And okay. So my idea is that we would leave it at 2.5 so that it would kind of like give us an incentive to upgrade our Ruby version, so we can keep the project up to kind of not the latest, but one of the latest Ruby versions, the latest 2.5 version at least. But then what happened is Semaphore, they don't support all Ruby versions. They're behind. Like they support 2.51 and they don't support 2.53 or 2.55. So what I end up having to do is like lock down the version, but the one in production is locked down to 2.51. So really, like this should be 2.51 here, and then should change the gem file as well to use 2.51.
Which one does it support?
Semaphore.
Semaphore? What's that?
Semaphore is our it's our CI.
Okay.
It's like Circle CI or Travis, but it's just a different one. It's this one here.
Okay.
So like if I go to project settings, I don't think there's anything here that's like, yeah. So here, yeah, they have 2.51. They support 2.6 and 2.61, interestingly. So we could maybe do an upgrade to our project to use Ruby 2.6 and see if that like causes any breaking changes. But like we can't leave it at 2.53 unless we do some unless in one of these steps here we like specifically install Ruby 2.53, which I tried and didn't get it to work automatically. So I just kind of didn't really do any work to try to get it to. Oh.
Gotcha.
Get add everything. Lock down Ruby version to match production. So hopefully this won't just break everything. I don't think so. Oh yeah, that would be interesting to try to upgrade to Ruby 2.61. Did it? No, this is a different thing. Circle CI. It looks like it might have failed, but why did it fail? Create events. So that's kind of one that's like intermittently failing. And one thing I've seen we can do like to try to get it to pass is to visit develop.website1, something like this. Make sure the site is actually up. Although I am doing like rerunning it at the same time as pushing to it, so probably not a good idea. Because this is like trying to reach out to, yeah, something like this endpoint. All right, well, I'm on. If that change to the Ruby version like causes a breaking change to anything that's going to affect you on the React side, then I'll let you know. And if it doesn't, then I'll push up the code so it if you decide to pull down the Rails stuff, you can play around with it. And all right, so it didn't even no space left on device. That's annoying. BF minus H. Come on. Right. %97%. So what I can do is do sudo docker system prune minus A. And yes, so I'm going to delete everything that's not being used. There's also probably some HAVP Gaku shell. Come on. Where's the music? Yes, keep playing music. Yeah, so the VM is like non-responsive again, which means it might need to be restarted. Oh, no. So that gave us 1 GB back, but like we're kind of running out of space on this box, 93%, which is not good. So I think there's like PS report. One thing I can do. I think we can turn this off because we're not using this. We might be able to delete this soon. PS stop this. Then we have website when develop is on. Project creator bot production is off because we have that on GCP at the moment. This is off because we're not using. This is off. I don't think we are going to use. This HOP wiki develop is on. We can probably turn that off as well. This staging is on. Production is on. Develop's on. This is on as well. Don't know why. I don't think we're using. Anyways, Yes, don't worry too much about that. Git push there. Yobu. Yeah, it's like completely stressed out, the VM. So this might not work. It's like using almost all of the memory and all of the swap for some reason. Not sure what is using so much. Yeah, these Puma clusters are using a bunch of space. Failed again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to restart the VM because it looks stuck, you know. And like looking here at the memory and the swap, it's like completely like I think there's I mean, also looking at here, there's like lots of different processes from Unicorn and from Puma. So there's like it seems like a memory leak, you know, which is why like I have every morning I have a cron job that restarts the virtual machine, but it still kind of looks like it maybe needs to be done more often than once a day, which is kind of, you know, that kind of says something's wrong, but you know, like trying to figure out what it is and fixing it. I'm not sure if there's time for that. It's like, yeah, but I mean, like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But these are all the same one though, I think. Well, no, they're different PIDs though. PID 2260, 2260, 648. Yeah, I don't know. But it seems like these numbers add up to more than 100%, which can't be. So there might be some duplicates, you know. One. Yeah, 19 times 8. I guess that would be 96. Or am I wrong about that? No, I think I'm wrong about that.
19 times 8,
Yeah,
like 100 something. 100.
yeah. That seems like more than 100, doesn't it? Because 20 times 8 would be 160, right? So it has to be more than 100%. Yeah, 157%. So I don't know how it could have 157%. I mean, there is swap, but like, so it could be considering that. I'm not sure. But then there's like all these ones with 2.1 that's like unicorn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And then there's 2 that are 1.9 that are unicorn. Oh, there's even more. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's lots of stray processes going on. So, and I think like if I restart the virtual machine, like all these will have to start back up again. So that'll kind of make it work. But it's actually moved forward, so maybe I'll just see if it actually completes. Hmm. Seven head. So this, Andrew, this is your ticket here for human connection that I pulled down. And like, if you have, yeah, so if it's your comment, you have an edit comment. Instead of like report comment, you have edit comment. Then you can click on that. Nice. Then this comment has been edited. And then beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Beautiful. Yeah, it's good. So you were saying the only thing left on this is the testing of it, basically.
Yeah, just the testing.
I wonder why I think my user profile is not showing up because it's not saved in the data. All right. Because yeah, the changes that I merged in this morning haven't been merged into here, so that's okay. I did. I think you might have seen. I did. It was failing to build because of the linting issues, and we also we merged in some linting issues that, depending on how you have VS Code saved locally, but they as long as it doesn't interfere with your setup, you have will auto format and save. So yeah, I don't know if it doesn't, then I guess you'll have to run your own lint fix, but then you did here in the validation, validate comment. So this validation that you're doing for post, yeah. So this is different than what I'm doing here, right? Because you're checking here to make sure that they are passing in a post ID, but it's not actually checking to see if it's for, but it's not actually checking the database to see if there's a post.
Right. It's just checking the params or the arguments.
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking that maybe we could refactor this as well, but then maybe would there make anything make that more difficult to do here in the validations? I don't know. I mean, either way, it's a refactor.
No, we'll probably have to separate the validation for create comment and edit comment or update comment, because I don't think we have to actually check for the post and update comment because it's already there in the post, right? So
yeah. You're probably right. Yeah.
But I don't know about for create comment though. I just left that up in the air.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's outside the scope of what you're doing anyway, so it's probably best to leave it, because otherwise you can, like, code creep is something that's a serious issue for some, you know. I think, like, I have in my mind of refactoring this to be in the validations as well, you know, like, because it is validating. Like, I noticed that I think you did remove, like, the first validations in the create comment, which were like checking the length of the comment, and you extract that.
Yeah. I just figured that it's the same as validate. Update comment. So I just might as well just take care of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, totally. So I guess I'll have a think about it, because I mean, I'm the one that wrote this create comment thing, and like, I think Robert had talked to me about extracting this into the validations as well, but then I started working on something else and didn't get to it. So I'll take care of that and have a think about what the best way to do it is, whether to have its own, like, validate comment, I don't know, but it's either way, I don't think it's so difficult. Because I feel like we could, even for the update comment, I mean, maybe it would be a slightly unnecessary, but we could, like, we could be actually checking the database to see if that post exists. And if it doesn't exist, then throw the error, you know?
Yeah, you could add it. I mean, just to make it uniform, that's fine too.
Because I think it would probably, if the person didn't pass in a post ID for some reason, like, I mean, through the UI, I think it passes in a form, but if they tried to hit the back end to update a comment without a post ID, for example, then it wouldn't find, like, then this would still come back as undefined, because it would like try to query the database for a post based on its ID, and then it would come back and there would be no post. So, like, this record.get would come back undefined, I think, and then it would still throw the same error. But yeah, I wouldn't. I'm definitely not suggesting you worry about that. I think the way you've done is fine. Just maybe, yeah, like, as you said, get the testing, and then we can get it merged in. I definitely gave you a shout out this morning in our sprints review, like, and client review, where I told them you're doing great work on this, and that this sprint like this next 2 weeks. This will, I'm sure, will be merged in. So
Yeah, sounds good. I'll try to wrap that up and see if I could help out with any other things on the sprint.
cool, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do the planning tomorrow. So I'll keep my eyes open for something that would be good for you.
Cool.
And yeah, it's interesting. I think it's really good feedback that you're interested in, like, you know, in delivering features versus just working in the back end or just working in the front end. So yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to, because like my goal is to do like full stack.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a front end, back end, and
Yeah, me too. I really like, I mean, there's sometimes I feel like there's other people, you know, other people who are stronger in back end than I am, or there's people who are stronger in front end than I am, and it might be easier for them and stuff. But I as well like to be able to deliver a feature, because then you learn stuff about the back end and the front end, and you can, instead of working on just a part of it, you can work on the entire feature and also work on, you know, the testing of it and all that kind of stuff, you know.
yeah, it also helps to see how things work. I don't know. For me, it kind of like if I'm working on the back end, seeing how the front end works helps with understanding the back end and vice versa.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm kind of like this thing. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't air out at some point. It certainly feels like it's going to, which is really a shame, because it's kind of a really long like process, you know. But I guess the memory is going down a little bit, so maybe it won't air out. I think this like 2 gigabytes of swap is maybe indicative of like the leakage, like it's just using the swap instead of using the memory. So hopefully it'll work. And I think I will start the restart the virtual machine at least today, because people might be working on stuff in the front end that they want to hit back end endpoints, and if the VM is so stressed out, then it could be that it causes issues.
Yeah.
Are you interested in DevOps stuff as well?
Probably not at this moment.
Mhm.
I mean, I am. I'm like interested in all of it, but I just feel like if I try to go beyond what I'm trying to do already, I'm like, I'm not. I'm just gonna be okay at everything. Like
Mhm.
instead of excelling at one thing, like
Mhm.
I focus on the actual site development first before going to like expanding on that. I think taking on full stack is like my limit right now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just from the comments that you made about like about wanting to work full stack, I think it seems like you definitely are interested in like the entire life cycle, which includes DevOps and stuff. But yeah, like, yeah, so maybe it is better. I mean, different people are different, you know. Like the way I've done things is not necessarily how I would recommend everyone doing it, you know. Like I mean, there's like this question as well with like a lot of us who are really involved with as much as we can in Agile Ventures. Like one of the other people I can think of is Mike. Is that it's not just in, you know, front end, back end DevOps thing, but it's also like front end, back end DevOps, and like different languages and different frameworks and different projects and different. So there is definitely some people who have like expressed their concern that like you're trying to do too much, or, you know, you're not, if you're focusing on many different languages and frameworks at the same time, like that maybe is not beneficial for you. But I think it's such a personal thing that you can't really like, you know, say what's best for other people. Really, you just kind of got to, you know, do what's best for you, you know.
Right. I mean, it's up to everyone. Whatever they want to do, I mean, go do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would say like how fast I'm learning Elixir and Phoenix is like definitely slowed down by the fact that I'm, you know, been spending the majority of my time working like with JavaScript, like with React and Vue.js, and also like, doing Ruby on Rails and stuff. So I don't really have a lot of time during the week. Like also I'm paid to work with certain languages and frameworks, and then other things like Elixir, Phoenix, I'm doing kind of like because it interests me, or because I'm helping to like run an educational mob or something like that. So hey, hit deploy. Woo. So this will almost certainly do a 500 error, and then I can refresh the page and try to hit one of the endpoints. Actually, I can probably hit the endpoint from here, from the React front end, make sure it just hasn't broken everything for people. Yep, as I suspected, but now it's up. Great. Awesome.
Cool.
And if I hit it from here, cool. So I think that hasn't broken anything that I can tell. Yeah, it looks like it's nice and responsive. I mean, I guess it's a question whether or not to restart the thing or not. I think I will, because I don't think anyone's like using it as we speak. And then, yeah, cool. Right, man. Oh, Mike's here. Hey, Mike. You're muted, Mike. You don't want to talk to us, Mike? Is that it? Just want to join and be quiet? All right, well, that's okay. No one's required to talk if they don't want to. What did we have in the Zen Hub? I'm looking for a new feature to work on kind of as well. I have a couple like cleanup tickets to work on for the user image upload. This is not the, this is for Anvil. Switch to another workspace. Human connection. Human connection. So we have this epic, which is comments, and we have the number of comments, right comment, author, comment date, I guess hasn't been implemented yet. Not sure that's true. Mention user with that, yes. Text, I'm not sure what that means. Delete comment, Wolfgang's working on that. Update comment, Andrew's working on that. This send out notifications, we said is not a huge priority. And then there's this like bugs and improvements to the comments, which I don't know, Andrew, if you have any ideas like about these. There's like this one we actually have a fix for. We just need to see if it's going to get merged in. And then there's so yeah, this is the one I was talking about. How that happens. I mean, it doesn't really like this workaround. I don't really like this workaround. Okay. So what do we have here? Nitro production. Yeah, this is not. This is here. Nitro production. So if I come here to I don't want to do this on nitro production. I want to do this on nitro staging, I think. I think is that logged in now? No. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, like I'm not able to it was in the development environment, if you like click on the comment like rapidly twice, it'll comment twice the same exact comment. But here in staging, it doesn't do that, you know? So we had like a potential workaround for this, but it's like, do we really want to get that merged when we can't replicate it on staging? I haven't tried on production just because I don't know if I should just be randomly posting comments on production, but it seems to me like maybe it's not a good idea to you know be adding code that handles like a edge case that we can't reproduce in like some production like deployed mode. I mean,
I don't see why not. Or
why not add the code?
yeah, I mean it's not working on the production right now.
No, I mean I think it's I haven't tested it like manually tested it on production, but like in the staging environment, like I'm not able to reproduce the bug. So then it's like I think like maybe, you know, like I don't know, I was thinking that maybe we shouldn't be adding code to deal with issues that are not reproducible in a staging or production environment, you know, like or just a deployed environment, you know,
Yeah.
like because when you're doing things in like development mode and in localhost, it's a different, you know, like it's slightly different. And so I feel like bugs are kind of maybe more for what your users will deal with, not for what, you know, developers. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends what you're talking about. I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm running the tests, I get certain errors that don't come up when I push it up. So
yeah,
I don't see the need to deal with it.
yeah,
The end result is to push it up to stage and production, right? I mean, if it's
Yeah.
not up there, then it's fine.
yeah. I mean, I think the counterpoint to that is that like, you know, just because you say you haven't encountered it on staging doesn't mean that you won't ever encounter it. But the thing is that if our user base, you know, start like, or if we notice that in production, like it's actually, you know, a problem, then we always kind of have an idea of what the fix is, and we can just push it through then, you know, like, but in the meantime, like we don't want to necessarily solve future problems that might happen or might not happen, like, you know. But what is an issue is like, I don't know if you can see, like we have a bug for these comments where not every time that you click on a post and you come to the post can you actually comment? Like sometimes it's like this editor looks like disabled, and then like if you refresh the page, then you can actually type something, but it's not all the time. It's like I don't know if it's 50% of the time, less than 50% of the time. Like some of the time you click on it and it's not available, and other times it is. Yeah, so I guess like I've done it a few, you know, like maybe 5 or 6 times, and the majority of the times it actually has been where you can't comment, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly where to start on how to debug that really, because like this whole comment thing is a component, but it seems like the component's not like rendering properly when the this page is rendered, and I'm not sure exactly why or what to do about it, like, or how to write a test to like expose the bug. Like, I mean, because in our in our Cypress test, we do have something that like is, you know, a test that looks for this for this comment form, and then like fills out something and then clicks on comment, and it doesn't seem like it's ever failing on the CI like in Cypress, but we can clearly see that it actually is a bug for users.
That create comment editor, it's a third party thing, right? And
It is.
so that maybe you might bring it up to that party, because it might be internal to that, and if it is, then you can't solve that on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, and it is, and it isn't. Like at some point it is, but at the first level, it's like it's our component, like our editor component, and then our editor component, like it uses a third party library called TipTap.
Come back. Come back. No. See you next week. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that might be hard to troubleshoot on your own.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, the one thing about like Vue.js I know is that like to get things to re-render on the page, like a good way of doing it is like setting the key to something that like will change, and then when it changes, it automatically triggers a re-render. But then I'm not sure. Like, I don't think there's anything on in this case that is going to change. Like when a person, because they're just clicking on the page, you know. So I'm not sure like why it's not rendering properly the first time, and like nothing on the page is changing. You know, it's just like. So I'm not sure if I could I guess I need to look at like the TipTap issues and see if anyone else has reported an issue on it, and maybe create an issue to, to say at least, that we're facing it, so that later on in life, if somebody else finds it, and then also, so restarting the box, like the swap immediately went away, and the memory dropped by 3 gigabytes. So it's like, maybe just like a cron job to run every, twice a day or something. But and then maybe it's not like maybe we'll find out in the meantime that it's not a TipTap issue. It's to do something with our components, like our editor component, or the way we're rendering it, or I don't know.
Maybe a quick fix is one in the life cycles to like force it to re-render.
Yeah.
Temporary fix.
Yeah. I might look at that.
The life cycles in Vue.
They're like created and.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look. Right. Well, I think I'm gonna drop off because I think if I'm not mistaken, all that's working okay, and I think Mike and I have a DevOps thing coming up in a couple minutes to move around some apps to a different box. So
okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like the back end's looking good. So hopefully, I don't know if you're gonna work on anything, but I think it'll be responsive if you do. Let me restart your build. I mean, it's not super important because you're gonna push more stuff to it, but it's better if it be green for the right reasons, you know? Yeah, cool. So yeah, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, probably I might join on Thursday.
Oh, cool. That'd be great.
All right. See you.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye. See you soon, Mike.